The beluga whale is an Arctic and subarctic cetacean. It is one of two members of the family Montodontidae along with the nar whale. It is also known as the white whale, as it is the only cetacean of this colour, and also as the sea canary due to its high-pitched call. Wait, what do you mean? You said the beluga whale. What other type? Look, it's not my job to... Okay, fine, hold on. Here we go. The Airbus Beluga cargo plane is a special cargo plane conversion used by Airbus to transport aircraft shells from their manufacturing sites across Europe to the final assembly centres in France. In this video today, we're going to explore the history of the type, why Airbus built it, and what the future is for one of the strangest aircraft flying in the world today. And watch to the very end for a little surprise. The Beluga journey starts before the plane was even needed by Airbus. Initially, Airbus was a mix of companies spread across Europe, and for its planes the general arrangement was for the wings and landing gear to be made in the UK, the tail and doors in Spain, the fuselage in Germany, and the nose and centre section in France, with a final assembly in Toulouse. Thus, Airbus looked for multiple ways to bring the multi-site construction project together. The solution came in 1974 with a highly modified Boeing Stratocruiser, dubbed the Super Guppy. The fuselage of the Super Guppy was lengthened to 141 feet, or 43 meters, and ballooned out to a maximum inside diameter of 25 feet, or 7.6 meters, with the length of the cargo compartment being 111 feet or 34 meters long. This aircraft had a maximum load of 52,000 pounds or 23,000 kilograms. These planes had originally been created to transport the third stage of the Saturn V rocket, but would go on to be used by Airbus to transport parts of the A300 instead. Airbus had 4 of these aircraft, 2 from the original manufacturer and another 2 that they built themselves on license, run by a subsidiary called Airbus Transport International. Technically it's not an airline, it's just a transport from within the Airbus production line. But believe it or not, they make around 15 million a year from external charters. Anyway, back to the story. When the Airbus A320 became more popular and Airbus launched the A330 and A340 programs, they knew that their 4 Super Guppies were not going to be able to keep up. Their age meant that the operating expenses were high and ever increasing, and a growing Airbus production required greater capacity than what could be provided by the existing fleet. Thus, they looked at their own lineup for a new cargo aircraft, settling on the Airbus A300 platform. This would be the first A300-600 ST Super Transporter, or the Beluga ST aircraft, and 5 would be built. To build these, Airbus would actually take half-built A300 and cut it in half. Why? As Bertrand George, the head of the Beluga XL program, said, the airframe had already been reinforced in certain areas, and in these days of composite materials, a traditional metal structure was easier to convert, the latter being important to achieving entry into service of the first aircraft. Building this aircraft would take around 3 years. And this plane would be much bigger than the Super Guppy. The A300-600 ST's freight compartment is 7.4 meters in diameter and 37.7 meters long, with a maximum payload of 47 tons. This would mean that the aircraft would be capable of carrying the heaviest part of the A340, the wing. By 2013, however, Airbus had become a victim of their own success. They were now producing aircraft at a rate of 60 a month of Airbus A320s across 4 final assembly lines in Toulouse, Hamburg, Mobile, and Tianjin, as well as 10 of its new aircraft, the A350s, per month. However, there was a problem with the existing Beluga aircraft. they could not transport an entire A350 on one flight. The plane would fly only the wing and one of the design drivers, as opposed to a complete ship set. Airbus needed a new aircraft to perform this role, one that was bigger and more powerful. Airbus did actually consider the Antonov AN-124 and a Boeing C-17, but they were found to be unsuitable. This new design also needed to instantly fit into the existing transport infrastructure of Airbus, such as the hangars, the airports Airbus used, as well as the same maintenance facilities as the existing Belugas. Initially, Airbus looked at the A340 as a template, but it would be too big to fit on the shorter runway at Hardwarden Airport in Wales, which was only 1,663 metres long. Airbus would put aside a small budget of €1 billion for the project for development and production, with them ultimately choosing the A330-200 as their base template. They would call this project the A330-743L, or the Beluga XL. The Beluga XL cargo bay is 6 meters longer than the ST, 1 meter wider, and half a meter higher. The Beluga XL also has the largest cargo bay cross-section of all existing cargo aircraft worldwide. Part of the length increase has been achieved by maintaining the full width further aft than ever before. This allows the outsized aircraft to carry a pair of A350 wings, as opposed to its contemporary, which was only a single unit. It operates at Mach 0.69 up to 11,000 meters, or 35,000 feet, with a relatively small range of 2,300 nautical miles, or 4,300 kilometers. This is a range increase of 900 nautical miles over the original ST model. As for the livery, with a smile and the eyes, that was actually the result of an internal vote with 20,000 Airbus employees choosing the final cheeky design. 6 of these aircraft will be used by operations by 2023, with the delivery of the last aircraft coinciding with the end of the original A300-600 operations. And now this is a retirement, mind you, for Airbus, but not retirement of its aviation use. Leading us to the next question in this video. Now, looking at this fuselage, you might start to wonder, what if it was a passenger aircraft? After all, it would have a similar capacity to the Airbus A380 with its double decks, but would it actually have twin-jet performance, especially if it used a more powerful engine like the Trent 1000 or GE9X? Plus, with the recent news that Airbus has been pushing for the Beluga series to be rated for ETOPS operations, flights over oceans like the Atlantic, this reality might be closer than you think. Well, why don't we sit down and crunch the numbers in another video, and turn this mighty beast of a plane into a passenger aircraft? Stay tuned! Today's video would not have been possible without the support of my Patreons, who get to see each video early and get to choose the very next topic. And if you enjoyed this video today, be sure to subscribe for what seems to be a never-ending stream of plane videos, and leave a like. It really does help the algorithm. But for those who have made it this far into this video today, I have a little reward for you. Part 2 of this video right now. That's right. Part 2 of me turning this plane into a passenger aircraft is available unlisted on YouTube, with a link down in the description called My Favorite Ice Cream right at the bottom. Boy, aren't you lucky. But be sure not to tell anybody else in the comments who didn't have the patience to wait around. This can be our little secret. Thanks so much for watching.